Sree, thank you so much for giving us your time. I'm Shamina Shafi, a business journalist with Hi Dubai. It's so good to have you here. Can you first tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, okay, so thank you so much for reaching out as well. I'm very happy to do this. So, my name is Sree Parvati. I have been in Dubai my whole life. I briefly went abroad to study culinary and then I came back, completed my education at AUS. So, I started my bakery in May 2024. It's almost going to be a year now. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to.
First of all, congratulations on the successful venture.
Thank you.
Now that you're approaching a year, can you tell us what the entire journey was like? What inspired you to begin this concept here in Dubai, and how you had to distribute your financial investments across the different sectors to build up this business?
Yeah, so even though we only opened in May of 2024, the planning for this actually started in 2023 of October or November. So it took me a good 6-7 months to just build up the business. But the idea for this started way before that. So like I mentioned, I went to culinary school and I studied in the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park. So that was like a hot spot for people who love food from all over the world. So that's when I was introduced to like so many different types of pastries that I've never seen in Dubai. I've never tried before. So that thought was always in my mind where okay, there's something very unique. I'm sure people here would also love to try it. So that idea was always there. I just wasn't sure what I would focus on. And in terms of actually building up the business, when you have an idea, the idea is very vast. You can go, it's like an ocean, you know, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to have so many different products, so many different locations. But when it comes to actually starting out, you have to narrow everything down to something that's very realistic and that's possible in terms of financial possibilities and also realistically what is going to work in this location that I have. So for me, when I started out, my initial fear was my location. I knew this is the product I wanted to do, but I wasn't quite sure how it would work out in this current location that I have. So that's when my marketing started, way before actually opening up the bakery. And in terms of the finances and how it has been distributed, I would say the biggest chunk goes to equipment. If you are someone who wants to open any sort of kitchen, whether it's baking or the hot kitchen, equipments are so expensive. Whether it be even coffee machines, you know, that's something I used to, that really surprised me. Like the machine that I have, it's a single group coffee machine. And it's only when I started researching about these, I realized they go up to 50,000 dirhams. 20,000 dirhams is sometimes a starting point for a good machine. So this is something that I didn't know about. So just like that, a lot of equipments were very pricey for me. And apart from that, you also have to make like a 1-year payment for your shop. So when you haven't even started selling your products yet, making that big amount payment can be it's a little scary, you know, because it's very intimidating because you're making a big sum here and you haven't even started selling anything yet. So I think that's the two places where majority of the investment goes in. And everything else honestly just depends on how you want to do it. Like if you want to hire professional people, get everything done professionally, it is going to be a lot more expensive. But since my shop is very small, it's something that I kind of did alone with one of my family friends and some of my friends and yeah, my parents as well.
So you took a leap of faith with this entire operation.
Yeah, I absolutely did. Honestly, the truth is, I had a plan in mind, but I also never sat and like really complicated it in my head because I was pretty confident, very confident with my product. So it was just about how can I get the product to the right customers. But yeah, it's a bit scary when you start out, but I think if you really have the confidence, it just ends up working out.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
So it must have taken you a lot of market research, as you mentioned, the coffee machine, the equipment,
Yeah.
Perfecting your recipe. So what was that whole process like for you?
Okay, so initially, like I said, I started the planning for this in October, November 2023. And I wanted to open the shop in Jan of 2024. But I think after I started my market research, I realized there's a lot more to learn and 2-3 months is really not enough, which is how I ended up taking 6-7 months. So I think even with a tiny store like this, there's so much you need to be absolutely sure of before you open, because at this point, it's not like a school project or university project. You're playing with real money here.
So you have taken inspiration from several different cultures and trends. How do you decide which trends to follow, which cuisines to take inspiration?
So to begin with, like deciding on donuts was just because I personally love donuts, and I feel like I've seen a gap in the UAE market where we don't have too many companies focusing on donuts. Actually, we have a lot of cookie brands, we have a lot of brownie brands, but in terms of donuts, the variations are very limited. So coming back to my culinary school, that's where I first found out about the Korean product. The Korean donut was not something I was aware of, but I tried it for the first time. I absolutely loved it. Never seen anything like that here. So I thought, okay, this is something that I would like to introduce in the market here. So that's just what I did. I just experimented, tried different designs, different styles, and I realized this worked best. So it's something that I'm going to fix with. I'm not going to change these varieties. I'll just bring in more flavors maybe.